Hello English learners, welcome back to the English with Michael YouTube channel. I'm going to take you today on a journey through London, virtually, because of the lockdown, but we're going to be looking at some directions. So I'm going to be showing you different places around the centre of London, and I'm going to be teaching some phrases that you can use to kind of talk about where you are or talk about which way you want to go. These are going to be a little bit more complex than simply turn left and turn right. I'm going to try my best to introduce some new vocabulary that you might not know or you might not be confident with. So let's get into it and let's see the streets of London on Google Maps. So in this picture here, we're right in the centre of London. On the left, you can see, do you know what this is? This is the London Eye. You can see the London Eye on the left, and through the trees, down the road, you can see Big Ben. So this is a good expression, through the trees, down the road. So down the road just simply means further away along the same road, down the road. A good phrase we can use is parallel. Parallel to the road. Parallel to. If something is parallel, that's kind of like two lines that are next to each other. So if that is the road, what would this be? What is parallel to the road? I would say the river is parallel to the road. This is the River Thames. Also the path, the pavement, is parallel to the road. So we could say, imagine you're in a taxi and you want to say to the driver, drive down this road parallel to the River Thames, and then you want to go towards or to Big Ben. Do you know the difference between towards and to? So if we say go to Big Ben, that means we're going to drive and stop at Big Ben. Big Ben is our destination. If we say towards, that means in the direction of Big Ben, but not exactly going there. Maybe we're going to stop before we get to Big Ben. So go towards Big Ben and then bear left. Bear left. So this is an interesting one, to bear left. Has a few meanings. Bear is an animal. Bear can also mean to endure or be patient, like bear with me 1 second. In this case, it's kind of like turn. If we say bear left or bear right, it's a little bit like turn, but it's a light turn. It's not like 90 degrees turning. We're turning a little bit. So maybe go into the left lane and bear left. Stick to the left side of the road when you're driving. Really useful driving expression, bear. So if we go parallel to the Thames, down the road, and then we bear left, when we go towards Big Ben, we will come to, perhaps, the Houses of Parliament. Probably down there as well. Okay, so see if you can practice these expressions yourself and maybe think of some about your own city that you can use. But let's go to another place in London now and let's see what else we can talk about. Okay, so now we have got a little bit further up the river and very beautiful area here, very peaceful even though it's in the centre. But again, to our right is the River Thames in the centre of London. You might see, if you look very carefully, on the horizon, there are many cranes. So horizon is like the line as far as you can see between the sky and the land. That is called the horizon. So if you look on the horizon, you'll see cranes. Now cranes are these big metal things used for construction. They're used for building houses and skyscrapers. So there are many cranes doing construction work in London. And you can see many of them very far away on the horizon. You could also see some bridges. So the River Thames has so many bridges that goes across the centre. And if you look in the distance there is a bridge. In fact, you can see the Millennium Bridge in this picture, which is a pedestrian bridge. That means for people only, no cars. In the distance means very far away. We always say in the distance. So what else can you see in the distance in this picture? Another good direction phrase is along. Along the path, along the road. And as these arrows kind of indicate, along just means going in the same direction. It's a little bit like parallel, the similar direction. So we could say there is a wall along the path. It has to be something long. We couldn't say there's a person along the path. It has to be a wall, something long. And finally, beyond. Beyond means over the other side of something. So in this picture, we could say beyond the river, behind, kind of like behind the river, you can see St. Paul's Cathedral. I think that's what it is. It's a very famous church, cathedral in London. So you can see St. Paul's Cathedral beyond the river. So if you're ever giving a tour of your city, these are some expressions you could use. The final picture today is not so interesting, but again, it's very close to the Thames, as you can see on the little map. It's also close to the Shard, which is the tallest building in the whole country, the big Shard. Shard means like a sharp piece of glass or something like that. So it's called the Shard for a reason. In this one, we have something overhead. So you probably know the word over and the word head. Maybe you didn't know it could be a compound word. So if something is overhead, that means it's above you, quite simply. It's over your head, right? So in this picture, we could say there is a bridge overhead. So if you're a very big lorry or you're very tall, watch out, there's a bridge overhead. We can also use the word opposite in this picture as well. So on the right-hand side, you can see the cafe called Pret. This is a cafe on the right, but what is opposite this cafe? Can you see? It's got a very small logo, maybe you can recognize it. Opposite the cafe is Starbucks, another cafe. So Starbucks is opposite Pret. Opposite means on the other side. Like opposite me is my camera, you guys. If you look out your window, what is opposite your house? What can you see across from your house? The final one I want to talk about today is among the people. Among the people. Now, do you know the difference between among and between? Between is usually used for two things. So between the UK and Turkey is Germany. So it's between two things. In this picture, between the cafe and the man is a bag on the floor for some reason. If we look along the left-hand side of the road, what can you see among the people? So it's not the best example, perhaps, but we could say there is a lamp post among the people. There is a lamp post among the people. So between is for two things. Among is for many things. So you can be among the trees in a forest or between your mum and your dad. So there we go. I'm going to end it here. This was kind of some vocabulary for some maybe kind of pre-intermediate vocabulary that you can use for directions. I really hope it was useful. Leave a comment below and practice these if you can. And tell me about what you can see in your area. Tell me about your town or city or what you can see out your window. And I'll let you know if they sound good. Thank you for watching this simple little video today, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye-bye. Hey guys, if you're listening till the end, then that means you're one of the true fans, so thank you very much. I just wanted to make a quick announcement that if any of you are interested in joining my group classes, I do one every Sunday and every Friday, And if it's your first lesson, you get 25% discount using the code on the screen. So if you go to this link, ewmichael.com/group, you can join our group lessons and practice your English with me and a small group of students. If you have any questions, let me know, but I'd be more than happy to have you as the new member of the group. Have a good week, guys.